Hey everybody, welcome back to Monetize Your Superpower. We are here with the amazing Vernelle, or Nell as some people call her. She is passionate about helping others achieve their goals. She's a full-time realtor who values relationships. She uses creativity and technology to move her clients from contract to close in the least amount of time possible. Vernelle loves seeing sellers, buyers, and their colleagues win. A Flint native with a vibrant personality, she can see positivity in any situation. Even more, she loves spending time with her family, who are her motivation for building a 5 to 6 figure monthly income. She leads by example and is a motivator to fellow realtors, showing them ways to triple their income, plan for retirement, makes an impact, and leave a legacy. Thanks for being here, Vernelle.
Thank you so much for having me, Vickie.
Yeah, so I know that you are a realtor. However, behind all of that is the personal development coaching that you do. You are a transformational coach and you help others to really see into their lives a little bigger, to be able to move past obstacles, whatever they are, and be able to live the life that they were meant to live. So I want to ask you, just right off the bat, why is it that you do what you do? Like, what's the story behind it?
Well, as you said, some people, they do know me as Vernelle, Salaam, or Nellie, or Tree, or V, and as a real estate lady who's very resourceful. I do help people to pull back the layers of whatever is holding them back and get them focused on their goals. And as a result of working with me, my clients become more confident, prepared, and productive so that they can attract and cultivate healthy relationships from their own positive self-image. And that way they worry less, they stress less, and they live their best lives. But what you might not know, Vickie, is that there was a time when I worried about relationships. I worried about money. I stressed, and my self-esteem was very, very low. Back in 2009, I weighed 225 pounds and I wore a size 22. My husband would always tell me that he was happy as long as I was happy. And I knew deep down inside, he was hurting for me. What he didn't know also is that I was a closet alcoholic and I abused marijuana in order to keep myself in a constant sedative state so that I could cope and be out in the world. I was at a point of not wanting to go on. I had thoughts of suicide. I felt like that I would die at any moment. I can remember a time very, very vividly when my youngest son, Amir, he was about 8 years old at that time. And we used to live in a Cape Cod, and my bedroom was up on the upper level. And we were getting ready to go somewhere. And I had to go upstairs to my room to get my shoes. So the stairway was kind of narrow and the ceiling was kind of low. So if you can imagine a closet with a door that leads to a stairway. Mm-hmm. At the top of the stairway, there was a quick turn and my bed was about 10 feet away. So by the time I reached my bed to sit down, to put on my shoes, I was exhausted. So what I did is I called out to my son, this little 8-year-old, to come upstairs and help mom with her shoes because mom had a hard time bending over. I couldn't breathe. Every time I bent over, it felt like my insides were being squished up into my throat. I felt guilty having to call out to this child to help me because I was too selfish to take better care of myself. I literally got sick to my stomach. It was in that moment that I realized that if I did not make drastic changes, then I would not live to see my children grow up or to meet my future grandchildren. So I made a choice to live. I shifted my mindset from worry, stress, and lack to one of joy, peace, happiness, and being healthy. Then I made a commitment to myself to get off all self-medication and exercise for just 20 minutes a day on a Stairmaster, no doubt. With this new mindset, which is the key, is mindset and a very easy cardiovascular routine, I was able to lose 75 pounds in 5 months.
Wow.
So this right here is the reason I'm so passionate about helping others to dig deep and find their true selves, to change their mindset, no matter what it is and what you may be doing. And by doing so, you're able to cultivate and nurture your own positive self-image where you are confident and you can live your best life.
Wow. I really didn't know that about you. I
Not
didn't know
many
the whole
people.
story. I mean, I know you're an amazing person, but I didn't know that whole entire story. So what you're saying is that even though, physically you lost the weight, it was more about losing some of the mindsets and the limiting beliefs and some of the self-talk and the chatter inside yourself that helped you shed the old Nelly. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what would you say is your superpower when people come to you and they're like, I need help with, getting into a better space in my life?
I would say my superpower is being able to dig deep into the soul of a person just
Mm-hmm.
through conversation or asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Spirit sometimes reveals to me, people will say spirit reveals to me what's going on with a person. And it's mainly because I felt that. I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to relate to what's happening and look back at how I changed my mindset and came out of that place, that deep pit.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my superpower. Yeah.
Well, I know that since that journey, you have not gone back to the old Nelly. What would you say is the key to making stuff stick? Because so often we do things and we have a little bit of success and then we slip back.
Right. Right. Well, I can definitely say there will be challenges. There will be times where you feel like you're going to slip back.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is the connection and knowing that you have everything inside of you to move the needle and keep pushing yourself forward. Really, that was what did it for me. I knew that I was destined for something a lot greater.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't come into the personal development space. Like I didn't even know it existed for like, I don't even, how old was I? Almost 40. I didn't even know that this space really existed. I mean, I knew there were self-help books, but I didn't understand that there was like this personal development realm, right? So it's not something that they teach in school, right? If they did, it would be a lot better for us.
Correct. No, it's not from school.
Yeah. Why do you think that everyone should have some sort of personal development journey going on in their life?
That's a very good question. Um, for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not growing, then you are dying.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at coming to some water and you see stagnant water,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much dead water.
Yeah.
Water should always be flowing and moving. And that's the reason, you have to keep moving on. You have to keep growing. You go through these phases in life. And if you stop, then it's kind of like, what am I here for?
Right. Right. For you, what would you say your definition of success is?
Oh, that's a good question. um, my definition of success is pretty much what makes you happy, because success can be a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And a success for every person is going to be different. Whether it's going to be achieving your goal, that could be successful, making a certain amount of money, that could be successful. It really depends on what your definition is. I don't really place a label on success because it is that different for everybody. Every person is unique, just
Mm-hmm.
like the snowflakes, just like the fingerprints.
Yeah.
We're all unique. And my position is every person should be allowed to be themselves, who they are uniquely and authentically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no judgment from anyone else, no judgment from the outside world. And if someone has a judgment issue, then that's their issue. Because on the inside, you know yourself well enough.
Yeah.
And that's success, knowing yourself, know thyself.
Mm-hmm. Cool. If you had a hot tip or one thing that you wish people knew about the niche that you're in or the industry, you know, personal development, transformational coaching, what would that be?
Hot tip. Okay. So let's see. Well, a hot tip would be, and I think I might have said it before, everything that you need has already been placed within you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been planted. You have to nurture and cultivate it and watch yourself unfold.
Mm-hmm.
There will be trials and tribulations and everything else that comes along with growth.
Yeah.
Because the universe is wanting to see, are you ready for this next level? Are you ready to grow? Or are you just going to stay where you're at? So a lot of times you have to push through. So that hot tip would be push through, keep on pushing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So why is, like, if everything we have is inside of us and we truly do know ourselves, why would somebody need to have a coach?
Because a lot of people don't even know how to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use myself as an example.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of coaches. So I can say that you feel, you know what you have, you know what you can do. But a lot of times you don't have a plan. You don't have a process. You don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get all of this self-talk going. You get all of these emotions, which by the way are energy and motion, and they're swirling around all over the place. Then you get discouraged. Then you get depressed. All type of emotions will start to set in, whether you're angry or you're frustrated. So the purpose of a coach is to help you focus in
Mm-hmm.
on the destination.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the roadmap of the steps you need to take.
Cool. Because we can't figure it out all the time. It's kind of like, you know, so often we can help somebody else, but then we can't see our own stuff. It's not as clear. So we need somebody to just point it out for us.
Exactly.
Well, some of the things that people have come to you for, what are the results, like the before and after? Do you have a few examples of those?
Yeah, I actually do have a few examples. I do. I have a friend who she's in finance,
Mm-hmm.
and we just had this conversation the other day. And she said she had a client that told her that she was aggressive.
Mm.
And she really struggled with that aggressive thing, you know. And mind you, she was trying to close a sale, and it seemed a little bit like she was trying to meet a quota.
Mm.
She didn't really want to accept that fact, but I know for sure she was trying to meet a quota.
Mm-hmm.
So what I explained to her was, yeah, you do tend to come off a little bit aggressive sometimes. And she's like, really? Well, I thought it was just the New York in me because she's from New York.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just because I'm a New Yorker. And I said, well, you know, it is because you're a New Yorker. I just left it. I said, yeah, it is because you're a New Yorker. But what I did is I planted a seed. And the whole day, I just kept messing with her and kind of poking at her and saying, yeah, well, that's because you're aggressive. Yeah, well, that's because you're aggressive. Now, I don't always go this route with everybody.
Yeah.
But because we're very good friends,
Yeah.
I'm able to do that with her.
Yeah.
And later on that day, she said that she had realized that her and God had a talk. And God told her, yes, you are aggressive. And she just sent me a thank you for
Yeah.
kind of just opening up her mind to
Mhm.
what was going on and happening around her.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, you know, that's what I do. I am my sister's keeper.
Yeah, that's a great example of how sometimes we want to argue with the data that's coming back to us, right? We're like,
Yes.
that's not true. That's not me. That's not, because we don't want, or we think we shouldn't be. And on the flip side, there may not be anything wrong with her being aggressive sometimes in life, right? You do have to be aggressive sometimes. And on a side note, sometimes women are told we're aggressive when, if it were a man, we don't need to go there, but if it were a man, they wouldn't be called aggressive.
Right.
Yeah, awesome. So I know too that you have a cool freebie that you're giving the audience. So guys, check down below underneath our interview and click on the link to get the special freebie that Vernelle is offering everybody. Thanks, Vernelle, for being on. I hope you enjoyed our time. I enjoyed our time, learned a lot, and I hope that everybody else enjoyed it too. Thanks for being on.
Thanks.